This seed spawns you at these gorgeous twin islands. The jungle island is full of stony peaks, has this bamboo forest, a ruined portal, and an immaculate water entrance to a huge lush cave. And over at the Mesa Island, the whole thing is surrounded by a warm ocean, so there's an amazing coral reef that wraps halfway around the base. Plus, since this is a Badlands biome, there's plenty of exposed gold for you to mine out. Moving on to this abandoned mine shaft that's dangling over this lush lava lake. Most of the mine shaft generated suspended from chains, which despite being pretty precarious, makes for a spectacular view of the entire cavern. It takes a bit of parkour to actually explore this thing, so just be careful not to fall between the cracks into the lava below. Next, we have this crazy looking cliffside village, with buildings that go all the way from the bottom to the top of this giant mountain. And this mountain range goes on and on for miles. There's even a second cliffside village if you travel east through the valley. And the sights don't end there. These frozen peaks are surrounded by cherry groves, this part of the valley has a teeny tiny dark forest in it, this mountain is covered in cascading waterfalls, and these wide open plains are literally begging for you to build a huge base here. And this seed spawns you in a beautiful mesa canyon that encloses this massive lake. Just over the terracotta wall is a mesa village, and on the other side of the canyon from where you spawn is an entrance to this huge dripstone cave that looks incredible. Jeez, a supervillain would probably build his secret lair in here. All in all, the canyon is over 400 blocks wide, and the lake is over 100 blocks deep. Plus, all of this orange terracotta on the lake's floor gives off an otherworldly vibe. Here we have a jungle island with a big mountain that looks like a dormant volcano. Amongst the varied lush terrain of the jungle, there are 2 jungle temples with diamonds and armor trims in them, as well as a magical looking lush cave. And although our volcano doesn't have any actual lava spewing out of it, you could easily change that and create something like this. Awesome. But this island is right at spawn and has a desert village and a mangrove swamp, which is really unique and beautiful. You've got everything you need for a perfect start to your world here. Plus, there are so many coral forests in the surrounding waters that stretch far beyond the eye can see. Not to mention Froggy. This mountainous crater has a forest that's home to a taiga village. The scene is beautifully accented by this awesome lava fall that looks like it's just about to pour into the village. The forest itself is split into a warm half and a cold half, and the village houses are scattered across several elevations, with some even built at the bottom of this crevasse. Crevasse. Moving on, how about these cliffs surrounding a tropical lake? If you look closely, the lake is tinted a slightly lighter blue, because it's technically a warm ocean biome. This means that despite being totally landlocked in the middle of a forest, this lake is full of tropical fish and dolphins, as well as lots of kelp and seagrass. The surrounding cliffs were already beautiful enough on their own, but the addition of all this amazing ocean life makes this a one-of-a-kind spawn point. This area is a floral paradise. Surrounding this island that has a cherry hill in the middle of it are sunflower plains, a flower forest, and these gorgeous cliffs that are covered in endless flowery meadows. And there's this village on the edge of the cliff that continues down below. All in all, there's a total of 15 surface biomes in the surrounding area, including jungles, dark forests, savannas, and even more cherry groves. Not to mention a second cliffside village just a few chunks away from the main island. With so much variety in biomes, this is a perfect seed for any survival player. This seed spawns you right next to these towering pillars and floating islands that are hovering over a gorgeous lake. The pillars are a combination of a taiga and a dark forest biome, and are covered in mushrooms, boulders, and podzol, which looks very mystical. The tallest pillar actually has a water stream you can use as a natural elevator to go all the way to the top. And once you get there, you'll see that the pillars travel all the way down the valley, including one that has this super cool color-changing waterfall. Isn't that magical? But this seed spawned a desert village inside of a Badlands biome, which is usually impossible. And it's also placed on this island, making it really stand out against the bright orange of the mesa. Though be careful, because there's 2 exposed cave spider spawners just across the river. There's also these really cool pillars with an eye shot of the village, where you could build a watchtower to look over the entire area. And if you want an even higher vantage point, check out this extremely picturesque mountain island with waterfalls galore. What's crazy about these waterfalls is that most of them flow from a single source block at the tallest peak, and the mountains are really really beautiful, but it also formed this unique forested crater in the middle, with 2 split biomes. This makes for some great inspiration for a really unique starter house. Plus, there's some smaller islands off the coast with a weird generation that I've never seen before. It's like Swiss cheese. This hollowed out mesa mountain is home to an endless cave system that starts out with some pretty open, lush caves, but descends into a deep, dark biome. There's a wide variety of sights to see here, including many breathtaking water pools and lava pools, amazing waterfalls, and multiple exposed geodes. You could explore this cave forever and literally never run out of ores to mine. But this seed has some even crazier caves than the last. This snowy mountain biome may seem normal, but taking a look at this from the ocean side, the cliff looks absolutely shattered by the caves. On the inside of this massacred cliff is a boundless lush cave, which really juxtaposes the icy exterior. And I mean, this thing is simply ginormous. It's so big you can follow it all the way down to an ancient city. It took me so long to explore this cave that I'm only just now realizing that by putting glowberries in the top part of this cave, it actually looks like the face of a monster. Did a giant slam his face into the side of this mountain or something? I guess we'll never know. But on the warmer side of things, this seed has you spawning in the middle of an ocean in this amazing island village. The savanna trees that spawned here usually have more of a yellowy tint, but since this is an ocean biome, most of the leaves have this greener color, making for an incredibly unique island vibe. Feels like I'm on vacation. If you're looking for a different kind of island village, then you may want to check out this towering monolithic cliff village. There are only 3 villagers who actually live here, and the side of the cliff is completely covered in snow and ice. And since the only place for monsters to spawn is this big open cave towards the bottom of the cliff, it is absolutely crawling with mobs. I guess you got a free built-in mob spawner, right? And standing on this side of the island, you can actually see 2 ocean monuments that are super close to spawn. Though don't stand too close to the edge, because in frozen peaks, goats are actually able to spawn. This world spawns you in an enclosed valley with a mansion inside of it. The crack in the earth right in front of the mansion goes down to a huge dripstone cave system, but venture further into its depths and you'll find yourself an ancient city. If the mansion was the mini-boss level, then this definitely feels like final boss territory, which isn't ideal for someone who just spawned into the game. But you know what? I'm a brave boy. I ain't scared of no final boss. Now, this seed is unlike anything else in this video because it has a cherry grove hill that has been partially frozen over into an ice spikes biome, making for some incredible contrast. The villagers who settled nearby picked a great spot to build, as they really get to appreciate the best of both worlds. So whether you're looking for something cold and treacherous or something lush and friendly, there's a little bit of everything in this world. But if you're looking for a seed that's a little more unconventional, these shattered floating islands look as though something smashed into the earth and sent chunks of land flying into the air. The way these islands are framed is so perfect that it almost looks like someone built them here on purpose. And if you give yourself jump boost 30, it's super satisfying to hop from island to island. What's kind of funny is that the tallest island here isn't even one of the big crazy ones. It's this tiny 3-block chunk at y equals 241. I guess sometimes bigger isn't better. The sources for all of these seeds are in the description. If you like this video, be sure to check out one of these next.